So let's start. And so we will take it in that order. So first let us read what is physical and motor development in the first year of life. How does it take place? Now, we tend to think that a newborn child is totally helpless, isn't it? We tend to think, wow, if we do not do this for the baby, how will the baby survive? If we leave the baby out in the open, she can catch an infection. Unless we feed the baby, the baby is not going to be able to eat itself. That is true. It's all very true that the human baby has the longest period of dependence on the parents. And just an interesting fact to you biologically, that the longer the period of dependence of the newborn on its parents, the more intelligent that species is. So the human baby is dependent on its parents for 3-4 years, isn't it, before the child can do anything on his own. And so this long period of dependence on the parent is a great opportunity for the child to learn. When the young ones of other species, animals and birds, they may be taking only a few weeks to become independent. But we can see the difference between the intelligence and the thinking of animals, birds and humans. So we must understand through this course, the idea of telling you about development during these early years is to help you to appreciate that what is it that happens during these early years and how is it that the caregivers can support the development of the child. So that is the purpose of going into depth about these units, so that in these units about different developments, so that the ultimate aim of this course is to prepare you to work in early childhood centers, either as in creches or in preschool centers. So once you appreciate how the development takes place, then you will be able to appreciate what is it that the caregivers can do to support the development of the child during these early years. So let us see that what capabilities does a newborn child have? After all, what is it that the child can do? Is the child capable at all? So what we are trying to say is that certainly the child is dependent on the mother for fulfilling of every want, but the child has many capabilities. For example, motor capabilities. Motor means in terms of movement of the large muscles, your hands, arms, legs, and movement of the small muscles like your fingers or your toes. So what can the child do? The child can turn head from one side to other side. So you may say, what's so great about turning the head? Well, because the child turns its head, the child can look for the mother's breast, the child can look and turn his head to reach the feeding bottle. Because the child can turn from side to side, sometimes when the blanket may cover the child fully and the child is uncomfortable, the newborn child can shake his or her head and the blanket will move away, allowing the baby to breathe. The child, if placed on the abdomen, can raise his head briefly and can move arms when he is lying on his back. Little bit he can move his arms or legs, and as I have said, that prevents smothering. Smothering means becoming suffocated. So this prevents the child from being suffocated under the blanket. That's a very important. So you see how even the small 1 week child has this instinct for survival. Apart from that, the child has many reflexes which allow the child to adjust to the environment. Reflexes means automatic reactions. For example, when you touch a hot tawa or a hot plate, automatically your hand moves back. You don't have to think, oh, I have touched a hot plate, let me move my hand back. No, it's automatic. That means it's a reflex. So the child also has many automatic reactions, such as the child has the rooting and the sucking reflex. Rooting means if you touch the corner of the lips of the child, not exactly the lips, but the corner of the mouth where the lips end, the child will turn towards the side on which it is touched. So, if any feeding bottle or any surface when the mother's breast touches the side, the child automatically turns his head to suck, and the child has the sucking reflex. So, the sucking reflex allows the child to suck. Now, I have given you only very few one basic example over here. But examples of many other reflexes are given to you in your coursework. Now, the point about these reflexes is that these reflexes, if they are not present when they should be, or if they continue to be present when they should not be present. Okay, so let us say that the sucking reflex should be present at birth, and now if supposing this reflex continues till some time when it should be actually be gone, then it is a sign of some sort of a disability. So many doctors, when they may suspect that a child may be having some sort of a disability, they will sort of try to see that is there a reflex which the child should show which she is not showing? Is there a reflex which the child should not be showing but she is showing? So the examples of other reflexes are grasp reflex. You might have seen, if you put your finger into the hand of the child, automatically the child's full hand grasps your finger. That's a grasping reflex. Once again, it's a reflex for survival. When we mean that the reflex should stop, you may say, but we continue to grasp for the rest of our life. Does it mean that the grasping reflex is there for the rest of our life? No. We grasp, but it is not a reflex. It becomes a voluntary action. Grasping as a reflex means that without thinking, the minute something touches your hand, you have put your fingers, curled your other hand's fingers around it. Grasping as voluntary means something is put in my hand, but I am thinking whether or not I want to close my hand or leave it open, which means grasping is in my voluntary control. Similarly, sucking is in my voluntary control. It's not as if something is in my mouth and I will start sucking. I may decide to suck, I may decide to throw it off. So it becomes under voluntary control. This is the meaning of reflexes coming under voluntary control. So this is a very important indicator. The neonate is the child. When we call the child in the first 40 days is called a neonate. So this neonate, we are still talking about the abilities of the child in these first 40 days itself. What other physical abilities the child has? Let's see. Now we say that the child is crying. Of course, the child cries when the child is uncomfortable. But the child cries also in order to be able to breathe. There is coughing and sneezing. The little child coughs, sneezes, yawns. All of that is helping the child to clear the air passages, for the air to go in better. And the lower jaw, and we have seen the cheeks are, they are so well rounded and shaped. Actually, they are formed. They have those pads which enable the child to suck. Apart from that, the child has sensory capabilities. The child can see, the child can hear, the child can taste. Now we may think what the tastes etc. the child may has, but the researchers have done experiments that if you put a sweet tasting liquid to the tongue of a newborn neonate, the facial expression is of pleasure, whereas if you put something which is bitter, the facial expression is of pain, which means that the child even at that young age can differentiate between different tastes. If a loud noise is made near the head of the child becomes startled. That's called the startle reflex. Now, in fact, this sort of a response is used to test whether the child's hearing is normal or not. So, supposing by chance if there is a loud noise, in the room where the little infant is sleeping and the child makes no movement, the child doesn't wake up from sleep, the child doesn't show some startle. Now that's an indication that all may not be well with the child's hearing. So all of these early indications are very, very important indications which help the child to survive, help the child to come to know and to begin to understand his surroundings, and help the adults to take care of the child. In terms of vision, it is the most developed sensory ability at birth. The child, even as the child is born within a week, can differentiate between shades of dark and light, and the child is very much attracted to a bright light and follows if a if an object is slowly moved in front of the child, not rapidly, but slowly moved in front of the child, which is bright, the child will look at that object. And the child is attracted to things that move. Now just see how amazing the nature is. The first 3 or 4 months of the child is going to be largely in the arms of some adult. Unless the child is sleeping, the child will be carried or somebody will be interacting. Now look at the human face. The human face has light and dark contrast. Our eyes have the black pupils, the rest of our face is of a lighter color. We always move. We make, when we are interacting, our head is moving when we are talking with the child. And we make a sound. So this, and we just see the distance. The child's vision is the most clear at a distance of 8 inches. So supposing I am the child, and if there is something 8 inches from my face, I can see it most clearly. And now just see that when any adult holds the baby, we hold the baby like this in our arms. Now this distance from our face to the baby's face is about 8 inches. And so you see how nature has really adjusted for the care of the infant. When we hold the infant like this and talk to the infant in this position, the infant is most able to see us. And our face with its light and dark contrast is very interesting for the infant to see. So we can see that the infant is predisposed, we can say, to examining the world, which means that we as a human baby comes with the entire ability to see and understand the world around her, because it is only through seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting that we will develop a storehouse of experiences and we will begin to understand our world. So let us appreciate how much it is that a 1 or 2 month old baby, what are the abilities of the baby. Similarly to hearing, I have said responds to moderately loud sounds by turning the head, and soft sounds are soothing to the baby. That's how you put the baby to sleep, isn't it? The child has a preference for human speech and voice, and so they've done research studies where they've played different type of sounds, and they find that the human infant moves its arms and body most in response to human speech, and it responds to changing rhythms when the speech is fast or slow by changing its own movements. The studies have shown that the human infant prefers the higher pitched voices, which are of the females, and can identify the mother's voice in the first week. So you must have noticed that often when the infant is crying, even if the mother is not there, but from somewhere the mother just says something, "Oh, I'm coming, don't cry." The infant doesn't understand the meaning of these words. It's not that he understands, I'm coming, don't cry. But the child can recognize that it is the mother's voice and feels comforted that somebody will be coming to, soothe the child. So taste, smell and touch, I've said already that they can differentiate between basic tastes and can even turns away head from unpleasant odor. Things which don't smell nice, the child can turns away the face and recognizes the smell of the mother right from day one, and is especially sensitive to touch. And that's why you've seen that we are holding our natural response to the baby is also of holding the baby and gently massaging the baby. So all this massaging etc. helps in the growth of the child, physical growth of the child, and also gives the child a sense of emotional security. So what is it that the newborn does after the child is born? As some of you may know, sleeps most of the time, 2/3 of the time, and for 6 to 8 hours is active. Different children have different levels of activity. Some may sleep a little less, some may sleep more. What is the care that we need to do of the newborn? The care that we need to do is to keep the child warm or cool as required, because our body we can regulate our body temperature. So supposing it's very cold and we are not wearing adequately warm clothes, our body shivers. Now that shivering is a way of maintaining the temperature of the body, but the newborn cannot maintain this temperature, and so it's very, very important to be very, very careful about the child's surroundings. If it's hot, Child has to be kept adequately cool. If it is cold, the child has to be kept adequately warmed. For the newborn, up to the first 4 months and even up to the first 6 months, it is advised to simply only breastfeed the baby and not even give water, because the breast milk is a complete food for the child. It contains all the nutrients which the child requires in the amounts needed by the child's body. There is no need to, and it contains water also. And the miraculous thing about breast milk is that the composition of the breast milk changes to meet the demands of the body. So when the child has the breast milk, it sends signals to the mother body that what is the quality of breast milk that is needed by the child at that time, and the quality of the breast milk of the mother is adjusted. That is how miraculous it is, and it is completely hygienic. When children are bottle fed, unfortunately we do not take care of the bottle cleaning as we should, and it is a source of infection in the young child who hardly has any immunity. It's all very the weight is so less, the immunity is so not so strong. So if at this time the child has an infection, and particularly diarrhea and all, which happens when you are using bottles which are not fully sterilized, there is a lot of damage that you can do to the child's health, including the child. If he contacts diarrhea, etc., it can even become fatal and the child can die. Now, it is very, very important to interact with the child from the time the child is born. We tend to think that, what does the child know? There is no need. When he will be 1 or 2 years old, when he can say something, talk something, participate with me, then we will talk. But that's not at all wrong, because that's not at all right, because the child begins the process of understanding the world right from the time the child is born. The child is interacting, and we will come to know about that as we move on to the next unit. Well, then after the period of neonate, which I mentioned, was for the first first 40 days, for the first month of life. After that, the child is called an infant. The period of infancy, as you would remember from teleconferencing yesterday, stretches from birth to 2 years. Today we are focusing on the development in the first year, and in the other sessions we will focus on development later. So infant means it's the period after the first month, because the first month of birth, not 40 days, the first month of birth, the child is called a neonate. So all the capabilities are improving and growing and developing. By 2 months, vision is developing very fast. By 2 months, they can see objects whether they are near or far. The child observes toys and looks at people because he is forming an idea about them. By 3 months, the vision becomes sharper and the child can see details of objects. He can differentiate between things. Earlier everything may appear quite similar to the child, but now the child can differentiates familiar from unfamiliar, and can distinguish parents' face from others. So largely at this time, what is going to be familiar to the child? Largely people. By the time the child is 2-3 months old, child hardly gets to see objects. The child we don't really give the child any toys or anything. We are largely talking. So the child feels comfortable going to the people whom the child interacts with daily. They become familiar. By the 5 to 6 months of age, most infants can even differentiate different emotional expressions on the mother's face. So they can make out whether the mother is sad, happy, angry. Your call again. Hearing, we have said that by 1 month the child can differentiate with different sounds, and by 6 months the child can judge the sound source accurately. What do we mean by sound source? We mean, let us say, supposing we make a noise here, then automatically we look in that direction. So by 6 months, the child also clearly looks in the direction from which the sound is coming. Once again, these are tests which the audiologists use to determine if whether the child's hearing is correct or not. There is any problem with the child's hearing. And the child responds better, the rhythmic sounds have a calming effect on the baby, and very loud sounds have distressed the baby. And now by 6 months, the child can also match the face with voice. Very interesting research studies they have done that, they'll put a face of one person, but the audio will play of another person. And they can see that the child feels distressed because the child did not expect that voice to come out from that face. So that is the meaning of can match the face and voice. The senses of smell, taste and touch develop further. Now, the first year is really, see the period, if you remember the discussion on critical periods from your last 2 days of teleconferencing, critical periods are those periods when the child is most sensitive to both positive and negative environmental influences. So during the critical period, if all is good in the environment, the child will rapidly grow. If during the critical period there are harmful influences like bad food to eat, unhygienic conditions or lack of love, lack of interaction, the child won't grow. So I just mentioned that the first 3 months of the conception, of the period of pregnancy is very important because the child's body organs and especially brain is forming. If at that time mother contacts some disease, it can have a negative effect. Similarly, the after birth, the first year of life is very, very important and the child is gaining weight rapidly. In fact, if the child does not gain weight, it is a cause of worry. So within the first 6 months, the child's weight should double. So if the child was 2.5 kilo, it should become 5 kilo by the time the child was 6 months. And by 1 year, the weight of the child should triple. And monitoring meaning keeping a track of the child's weight is a very, very important activity in the first year of life. Even the head circumference is taken. If you go to the pediatrician with an inch tape, he will measure the circumference of the child's head and note it because the brain is growing. So the brain is growing, the head is growing. So that must, happen very rapidly. Weight triples by 1 year and height increases by 10 to 12 inches. Now, what is it that's happening in the brain? Now, this word synaptic connections is very important and let me explain it to you. Our brain is made up of nerve cells. Nerve cells, so one nerve cell, let us say, ends here and the other one begins here. Now, this connection between one nerve cell and the other nerve cell is called a synapse. Now, messages from this one nerve cell to the other nerve cell will go through a fluid which is present in between. Now, these connections, it is like the branches of a tree. As many branches in the brain, which means as many connections between different nerve cells, that much more intelligent or that much more is the power of that brain. And these synaptic connections are formed majorly during the first 2 years of life. And the reason why these synaptic connections are formed, is good food, good nutrition and good interaction with the child. So it's not enough that you give the child nutritious food and you think all is well. No, you have to interact with the child. अच्छा ठीक है, मैं कंटिन्यू करती हूँ, तब तक दोबारा से आप पूछिएगा प्लीज अपना प्रश्न. तो साइनेप्टिक कनेक्शंस बातचीत से बढ़ते हैं, इंटरैक्शन से बढ़ते हैं, ये मैं बता रही थी आपको. इस समय में बोन्स हार्डन होंगी, मसल्स किस इंक्रीज करेगा, बॉडी प्रपोर्शन चेंज होगा. बॉडी प्रपोर्शन यानी जब बच्चा बॉर्न होता है तो उसका सिर बड़ा हमें लगता है, क्योंकि असल में होता है बड़ा. जैसे जैसे बच्चा आगे बड़ा होता है उसके ट्रंक बड़ी होती है और फिर उसके हाथ और पैर प्री स्कूल एज में बड़े होने लगते हैं. इसके कारण उसका चलना फिरना और बाकी चीजें जैसे ग्रैस्पिंग करना, ये करना इत्यादि संभव हो पाता है. सो बॉडी प्रोपोर्शंस के चेंज होने से तभी ही भी वो चल पाएगा, उठ पाएगा, भाग पाएगा, कोई चीजें पकड़ पाएगा. मोटर डेवलपमेंट क्या होती है पहले वर्ष में देखें. सो पहले से फर्स्ट से थर्ड मंथ तक हम देखते हैं कि बच्चा अपने हाथ पैर हिला सकता है जब पीठ पे होता है या जब पेट पे होता है. और अभी आप देखेंगे पहले 3 महीने में बच्चे का सिर अक्सर एक तरफ पड़ा होता है, सीधे नहीं होता. जैसे हमारा सिर तो सीधे है बिल्कुल, बच्चे का सिर एक साइड में पड़ा हुआ होता है. तो यानी कि कई बार हम बच्चे को पालने इत्यादि में सुलाते हैं. So with this question, I move on to what we were discussing. I was telling you that if the child cannot hold his head in the midline, so what? What about it? The reason why we are talking about is that often we put the child on the bed, and often sometimes we also put the child in some type of a palna, and we like to hang things from there for the child to see. और we like to interact with the child. हम कोई खिलौना दिखाना चाहते हैं, तो बच्चे को उसके दोनों साइड्स की तरफ से खिलौना दिखाएं, ना कि उसके सिर के ऊपर से, क्योंकि वो उसका सिर अभी सिधाई में वो नहीं पकड़ सकता है. 3 महीने पे जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात होती है वो ये है कि बच्चा कुछ देर तक, जिसको हम कहते हैं, सिर उठा पाता है. और ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट माइलस्टोन है. इनएबिलिटी ऑफ द चाइल्ड टू होल्ड द हेड इन द मिड लाइन, सीधा अपना सिर उठा ना पाना जब ऐसे गोद में पकड़ा हो सीधे, एक सूचक हो सकता है कि बच्चे की विकास शायद बाकी बच्चों की विकास से थोड़ी धीरे चल रही है. इस समय इफ यू पुट द चाइल्ड, उसके अगर पेट के बल लिटाएंगे तो वो अपना सिर और थोड़ा छाती ऊपर उठा सकता है और अपने ऑब्जेक्ट्स की तरफ हाथ बढ़ा के उनको पकड़ने की कोशिश करता है, पर वो जो पकड़ना है वो बिल्कुल मार्क पे नहीं होता है, इधर उधर उसका हाथ जाएगा क्योंकि अभी कंट्रोल नहीं है. सेंटर टू पेरिफेरी डायरेक्शन में आपको याद होगा विकास हो रहा है, तो हाथ मार तो सकता है, यानी शोल्डर की मूवमेंट आ रही है, परंतु पेरिफेरी यानी एंड हाथ पकड़ गएगा नहीं, क्योंकि ये जो फिंगर्स और हाथ का डेवलपमेंट है ये बाद में होना है. तो अभी 3-4 महीने पे पूरा हाथ यूं मारेगा, पर किसी चीज को यूं पकड़ने में उंगलियों से या हाथ से मुश्किल होगी. 4 महीने पे पलटना सीखता है, रोल्स फ्रॉम बैक टू फ्रंट एंड back to stomach and stomach to back. Around 6 months, the child begins to sit with support. Another very important milestone. If the child does not start to sit with support, 6 से 8 महीने के बीच अगर बच्चा अपने आप बैठना न शुरू करे, यानी ये किसी प्रकार की बच्चे के विकास में धीमे होने का सूचक है और हमें डॉक्टर से संपर्क करना चाहिए. लेटी हुई पोजीशन से सिटिंग पे आ जाता है. अब अपना हाथ भी वो चूसने लगता है. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंगली हम अगले सेशन में पढ़ेंगे कि हाथ चूसना भी एक विकास का सूचक है. हम लोग अक्सर बच्चे के हाथ के चूसने को बहुत बुरा मानते हैं और सारा अपना टाइम निकाल देते हैं बच्चे का हाथ उसके मुंह से निकालने के लिए, परंतु हाथ चूसना एक विकास का सूचक है. आज समय इसके लिए खत्म हो रहा है, कल हम इस पे बात करेंगे कैसे. कुछ देर बाद अब उसका हाथ के उंगलियों का विकास हो जाता है कि वो कोई चीज लेता है और छोड़ता है, लेता है छोड़ता है. इस समय आप इंटरेस्टिंग एक गेम देखेंगे बच्चों को, जो कई बार एडल्ट्स को बड़ा इरिटेटिंग लगता है. आप बच्चों को कुछ देते हैं और वो उसे नीचे फेंक देता है, फिर आप सोचते हैं अच्छा गलती से गिरा होगा, फिर आप उठा के देते हैं, फिर नीचे फेंक देता है. ये हम सोचते हैं कि बच्चा हमें इरिटेट कर रहा है. बच्चा हमें इरिटेट नहीं कर रहा. ऐसा खेल भी बच्चे के बढ़ते हुए दिमाग का सूचक है, परंतु हम एडल्ट्स में इतनी पेशेंस नहीं होती. कैसे ये बढ़ते हुए दिमाग का सूचक है, ये भी बात हम इस पे कल करेंगे, क्योंकि कल हम संज्ञानात्मक विकास यानी डेवलपमेंट ऑफ थिंकिंग के ऊपर बात करेंगे. पर इसके कुछ हिंट्स मैं आपको आज दे रही हूं. तो हम यही बात कर रहे थे कि जो ये लेन देन का खेल इस समय बच्चे खेल सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनका मोटर विकास भी हो चुका है और बौद्धिक विकास भी हुआ है. इससे एडल्ट और बच्चे के बीच में जो इंटरैक्शन है, अंतरक्रिया है, वो बढ़ती है और इससे बच्चे की बुद्धि का विकास का यह सूचक है. 7वें से 9वें महीने में कई बच्चे क्रॉल करते हैं, कई नहीं भी करते. क्रॉल ना करना कोई इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं है, कई बच्चे स्किप कर देते हैं. 9 महीने तक कोई सपोर्ट लेके वो खड़े हो पाते हैं और एक हाथ में कुछ चीज पकड़ भी सकते हैं. 9 से 12 महीने पे कई बच्चे चलने लगते हैं. थोड़े इसमें व्यक्तिगत भिन्नताएं होती हैं, पर मान लो कोई बच्चा 15 महीने तक, 1.5 साल की उम्र तक भी ना चले, तो इट कैन बी अ कॉज ऑफ वरी. इट कैन शो पुअर हेल्थ, खाने में ही उसका शरीर में ताकत नहीं है चलने की, या इट कैन शो अदर टाइप ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी ऑल्सो. नाउ क्यों हम बच्चे की फिजिकल मोटर डेवलपमेंट के बारे में, सेंसरी डेवलपमेंट पे हम ध्यान क्यों दें? इस पे ध्यान देना इसलिए जरूरी है क्योंकि जैसे जैसे बच्चा अपने शरीर से ज्यादा क्रियाएं कर पाता है, यानी कि वो अपने आसपास के वातावरण की खोजबीन कर सकता है. और वातावरण की खोजबीन करना मतलब बुद्धि का विकास हो रहा है. इसके बारे में हम कल और जानकारी बात करेंगे कि कैसे बुद्धि का विकास हो रहा है. बच्चे को अपने बारे में पॉजिटिव फीलिंग्स, कॉन्फिडेंस की फीलिंग आती है। हम सोचते हैं कि कॉन्फिडेंस क्या है, ये तो हम बड़े लोगों को होता है कॉन्फिडेंस, ऐसा नहीं है। 1 साल के बच्चे को भी सकारात्मक और नकारात्मक दोनों किस्म की भावनाओं का एहसास होता है। और जब वो कुछ कर पाता है, मान लो कि कोई चीज ही सामने पड़ी है और उसे वो ठाड़ पाड़ रहा है, तो उसके अपने बारे में पॉजिटिव फीलिंग्स डेवलप होती हैं। वो कैसी क्रिया करते हैं, उससे दूसरे लोग उसके प्रति वैसी प्रतिक्रिया दिखाता है ना। जब बच्चा ज्यादा कुछ कर पाता है तो हम एडल्ट्स भी इंटरेस्टेड होते हैं उससे खेलने के लिए, उससे बात करने के लिए। और जब हम इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो उसका सामाजिक सोशल विकास होता है। तो बच्चे की ये सारी जो बढ़ती हुई क्रियाएं हैं, हमें ये क्यों समझनी है? क्योंकि हम अगर बच्चे के साथ किसी क्रेश कार्यक्रम में जुड़े हैं तो हमें यह पता होगा कि बच्चे को केवल मात्र खाना खिलाना, सुलाना, सुसु पॉटी साफ करना सिर्फ यही नहीं है बाल विकास। इससे कहीं आगे है बाल विकास। बाल विकास का मतलब है बच्चे के पूरे मस्तिष्क को हम स्टिम्युलेट करें, बच्चे के मस्तिष्क को हम बच्चे के मस्तिष्क को खाना दें, केवल उसके शरीर को खाना ना दें। और वो तभी आएगा जब हमें पहले यह तो समझ हो कि बच्चा पहले वर्षों में बढ़ता किस प्रकार है, क्या है बच्चे के विकास का स्वरूप, ताकि हम उसी स्वरूप के अनुरूप उसको क्रियाएं उसके लिए आयोजित करें या उसी प्रकार का उसको इंटरैक्शन दें।